Oh my goodness, hey.
You ain't nervous, are you?
A little bit, a little
Eh,
bit.
ain't nothing to be nervous about. I just wanted to say welcome to the show.
Right, thank you. I don't even know how I'm supposed to hold my camera.
Oh, you good? Just be you. You're doing a good job so far. So how
How
you
are
doing?
you? I'm good. I'm tired, but I'm good.
Yeah, me too. I've been highly anticipating this because um, whenever meet new people, I get so nervous and stuff like that. I don't care how many times I do this, I still get butterflies. But other than that, it's all good. It's all good. Yeah, so I wanted to just ask you a few questions since whatever
Okay.
you want to talk about, you can discuss it. If not, you can say pass.
All right.
Yeah, so to the viewers who's tuning in who may not know you, how about you tell us
Don't
about yourself?
nobody know me. I'm Tara. What I'm supposed to say? I'm from Michigan.
Hmm.
Um, what you want me to say? What you want to know? Ask me some questions.
Well, nobody knows you best but yourself, right?
Of course, but I can't give off all information.
No, I ain't trying to, I ain't the feds. I mean,
Nonchalant. No, like I don't know. I work at the hospital. I'm a mother.
hmm.
Um, I enjoy life. I enjoy making memories. I enjoy smiling, making people smile. I don't know what you want to know. I'm just regular. I'm
Oh, that's
regular, but I'm
cool.
not ordinary.
Okay, okay. Well, being a mother, how that's going for you?
Um, it's cool. It's challenging at times, but it's not hard. At least I don't
Yeah,
think it's hard.
yeah, because I don't have any kids yet, so I just always wonder about that because I don't know. It's not like I'm going to fail at that. It's just, well, not a, being a mother, but being a father. But
Right.
well, I just be very cautious about who I have, who I'm going to have kids with, and picking my right partner
Yes.
because I don't believe in you raising my kids by yourself. I don't play that. You know what I'm saying? I don't
I
play that at
mean,
all.
you don't have to be with someone to not raise your kids together. It's a
Hmm.
difference there. But, my intentions when I had children, it was never to be a single woman nor a single parent. I think it's a difference. Just me personally, I'm a single woman. I'm not a single mother. The difference is my
Hmm.
children have active fathers. Now, I think
Hmm.
when a woman is a single mother, people may disagree. A lot of people disagree. But I've learned like a single mother is like literally doing everything on their own. Like this is just me. Daddy, inconsistent, in and out, $20, $30 here or there, not having any type of relationship with their child. I think that more so is a single mother versus me and their dad not together, if that makes sense.
Absolutely.
But I mean, to each his own, everybody have their own definition of it, blah, blah, blah. Because when I
Hmm.
check, marital status, when I check the box, it say I'm single, you know what I mean? But I don't know. That's just how I look at it.
Yeah, and I just really can recall my childhood because, like I said the other night, I had just forgave my father,
Mm.
and it was tough. It was, I would say, it took years because I really
Is your
found
dad
out.
still alive?
Well, my stepfather passed away. He's the one that raised me,
Okay.
but the one who's my biological father, he's still alive. He'd
Okay.
be 70 years old, coming up. Our birthdays like 9 days apart, but it was this a whole lot just growing up and not knowing where he was at because he was out of my life for 25 years. So it was tough. And then he came back and he expected to see a success or whatever expectations that he had. I didn't meet him. So it was just hard, especially when you've been looking for unanswered questions your entire life and you find out that you don't meet the criteria of that particular person. But I just grind, I just shine. Regardless of what I went through, I don't make excuses.
Hmm.
I make changes.
Right.
And we just have a lot of people playing victim. Way too many, way too many people playing victim.
Yeah.
But I just feel like there's always choices that you can make. It's never
Hmm.
too late. As long as you're still breathing, as long as you're still here, you can always turn that negative to a positive. But a lot of people don't choose to meet um, or just look themselves in the mirror and take accountability.
Right.
So, but yeah, this platform, well, what I do is, um, I really talk about grief and talk about depression, anxiety, mental illness, and stuff because we really don't get that as much awareness in the Black
Hmm.
community. So I wanted to ask you a story about was it something that you had to overcome? And I would tell you mine
Okay.
afterwards.
Oh goodness. Well, actually today is the birthday of my cousin who passed away. What it would be? What, 8 years ago?
Oh boy,
2000.
yeah,
Yeah.
boy. He
Yeah.
was at my party.
What party wasn't he at?
It was so funny. I miss, like I said, because I had just turned 24 around that time. So he was at my party. He didn't know it was my party, but it was just so funny because he was trying to like get me to let him in my party and stuff. And he was just talking about this debit card stuff. He didn't have any cash. And I
Listen,
was
don't play my cousin.
no, no, I'm just being honest. I'm not gonna lie on the dead, but that's what happened. But we had
Did
so
you let
much
him in
fun.
the party though? That's the question.
Yeah,
All
yeah.
right, that's it. That's it. That's his
Facts.
infant. That's the infamous. Oh my God, that's so funny. That's so funny.
Yeah, yeah, that was my guy. Um, I was like completely devastated when he passed away because we was, I won't say we was close, but whenever I seen him, he always show love. He always acknowledged me and stuff. But
He had that aura about him. Like he made everybody that he came in contact with feel special, whether like they've been knowing each other for years or like they just had this bond. Like everybody was his cousin. Like it was just everybody
hmm
from adults to his peers. He just had that type of aura. And it took his death for me to realize why he was the way that he was.
hmm
Because growing up and even when we became young adults, because he passed away, we were still young, but we
hmm
became young adults. I'm like, well, you don't even know her. That's not our cousin. You don't even know him. You said he does. Okay, cool, whatever. Like he planted his seed or he put his mark on a lot of different people's lives, whether good, bad, or indifferent. You have a story to tell. You know what I'm saying? And not saying he was the best or the worst or anything. He was just him and he was loved by so many people.
hmm
But his death was probably one of the hardest for me to date. Something I don't ever want to experience again because it was unexpected. It was not planned for, it was not prepared, it was just out of the blue. Um, it was a night I was with some homegirls. We had our kids. We were just having, basically a play date. We at one of my homegirls' house. His mother called me and was like, "Are you on your way over here?" I'm like, "No." with my friends, you know. The kids in the room
Right.
chilling, we know. She's like, I'm like, why, what's going on? And then she yelled at me, and I'm her favorite niece, and she never yells at me.
Hmm.
And she's like, you need to get here now, and hung up the phone. So I'm like, and this is what I say. I'm like, bull, then got into it with some girls, and they at my auntie house, and now I gotta go fight these girls. So it was winter. It was the winter, and we I pulled up. I can't remember which one of my friends I had with me, but I had one of my friends with me, and we pulled up. I seen his twin, the youngest twin, Eric. I see him outside. I'm like, oh, what the fuck? What the fuck? Now, I've been working in the healthcare field for since 2009.
Hmm.
I've come across death. I've seen people dying, almost dying, leading up to death, all that. So I kind of know what death looked like. So I walks in my aunt's house, and the front door you can see like straight through the dining room. And boy was what, 6'4", 6'5".
Hmm.
His body was from his bedroom was off of the dining room. His body was from his bedroom door into the dining room, just limp. And then I'm looking at the EMTs and paramedics. I'm looking at their body language, and I'm looking at their facial expression, and it just looked like, mm-mm. So I just instantly fell on my knees because before I even hit the actual doorway going into the dining room, because I knew he was dead then. And my aunt, she's there. She's yelling, get up. He's not there. He's not there. So I'm like, okay. And I'm the youngest out of my immediate household. And my dad got sick, started getting sick when I was 13. So, like, putting on a strong face and being strong was something that I was trying to do unwillingly or unwantedly, if that's even a word, at a young age. So I'm like, all right. So I get up, go in the room, like literally in the dining room while they're doing chest compressions, while they're trying to check for pause. They got their machines trying to check, boom, nothing, 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 nothing. So I go back outside. And Eric's in there talking. He comes out of the neighbor's house, and then we see another official, because it has to be three officials to pronounce the death. So
Hmm.
we see another official. He coming out the car with no sirens on, though. This is the officer, no sirens. I'm like, he's dead.
Hmm.
Like, I know he's dead. And so I almost thought Eric was gonna go to jail, because he's like, what you doing with that paper? What you finna do with that, officer? What you finna do with that? Hostile. I'm like, Eric, shut up. Just come on, come on, come on. You ain't finna tell you my brother dead. So we go back in there. And so, like, I still to this day, like, I commend the EMTs and paramedics, because, like, they literally worked on him for over an hour. It had to be close to 2 hours that they worked on him, because before my aunt called me, it was before midnight. It was probably like 10 something, maybe early 11. And they didn't pronounce death until after midnight. So make a long story short, the MC comes and tell my aunt that they did everything they could. They couldn't revive him. Da da da. I'll never forget her. She was talking to her oldest son, and she's like, "I gotta call you back. I think they're about to tell me your brother didn't make it." And that's what the paramedic said to her. So once they said all that, I personally helped them wrap his body up, put him in a body bag, and carry him to the car. And I just left.
Yeah.
I didn't, it took me a long time. I ain't gonna say a long time. It took me a few days to like literally break down and cry. Like that was like really hard. I drunk Mountain Dew Kickstart. Mountain Dew Kickstart had just came out. I drank that
Hmm.
and Patron. That's what it was. That's what I was drinking. I ain't go to work. I barely ate. Like it was just really bad. That was the first time I ever smoked marijuana in front of my dad. Literally, like I went with my uncles, like I need to hit that. They looked at me, they looked at my daddy. I said, I'm grown, y'all. but that was like really the hardest because nobody saw that coming. Like nobody. Like yes, he has seizures. Yes, we all knew that, but not not die. Like like that. Mm-mm. So yeah, and today is his birthday, and happy birthday.
Mm, yeah, and I do music with Derek, and
That's my
we
other son.
yeah, and we have a special bond because we both lost our brothers too. And yesterday was my brother's anniversary, and it just people don't get it, people don't understand it at all.
No, no.
And my mom, I was really scared because how I found out was I was at work, but I had this feeling the entire day, and I was just thinking to myself, what's going on? And something ain't right. And we had a argument hours prior before all that happened. So I was just feeling bad because we went too far.
Yeah.
I I said I hated him and stuff, just being brothers and shit.
Hmm.
But I just was like, man, I need to apologize, but I don't think he would answer the phone. But by the time I had that thought, he was already gone because he passed away around like between 10 and 11 o'clock that morning. And I had that thought around like 2 o'clock. So I was at work
Yeah.
and I get a phone call from my cousin. He asked me, like, where you been? We've been trying to reach you. And I said, I'm at work. And he's like, you sitting down? So I wasn't expecting him. I was expecting somebody, an older relative or something.
Right.
And when he told me, it was just like a PowerPoint presentation just played in my head. Like I saw him when he first held me in his arms as a baby to the last time I saw him. And when I tell you, like, I feel like I got my soul snatched away from me. And I was with my friend, and he ain't never saw me cry. Nobody really see me cry like that. But he was like, "Hey, what's wrong with you?" And I was just bawling. And then he called he called our supervisor. And he was like, "Man, I gotta take Will home. His brother died." Because I was just telling our supervisor about the argument me and my brother had
Yeah.
because it affected me. So he didn't believe me until he heard my agony in the background. And so he was like, yeah, take him home. And I talk about this in my book because I wrote a book about it. But our house was so small at the time, but it felt like I walked 50 yards to the front door.
Yeah.
And I didn't know what to expect because at the same time, I didn't think this was real. I thought somebody was playing a horrible joke on me until I seen all his stuff in our kitchens just scattered all over the place. And that's when the old Will died that day. And I never was able to get him back. But I just tell people, because people just be trying to cross examine your pain and this and that. And you don't play about that, especially when you still have your original family. And
Mhm.
I don't wish that on nobody. And it's still hard to adjust. It's still a process, you know what I'm saying? Especially when you look like the person, it really bothers you the most. It kind of hits you hard when you grew up with them. And
Mhm.
despite the relationship, the bond is sacred. The bond is everlasting. So a part of you go with them. And I just try to just explain that to people because people could just be so insensitive.
Yeah. it's like people always say, time heals all. And since I've experienced it personally myself, time doesn't heal. It just teaches you how to cope better. Like you
Hmm.
learn new ways to cope with it. Like, oh, this sure wasn't as bad because instead of crying, we did X, Y, Z. Instead of doing this, you know what I mean? You just find
Hmm.
different ways to cope with it. Because, I mean, it feels like, for me, it feels like Bull's death just happened yesterday. Like if I sit here and think about it, like damn, like if sometimes I find myself like if I'm by myself or if I'm alone or I can just get instantly sad just thinking about it all over again.
Hmm.
Like damn, it's
Yeah.
been this long and I'm still feeling this way. I now I like I said, I'm just finding better ways to cope with it. It doesn't take the pain away. It doesn't lessen the pain. It doesn't make it easier. It's just you cope with it. Like it's almost to the sense of numbing it a little bit. Like part of you, I don't know. It's hard. It's not a good thing.
No, and I try not to be standoffish and
Mm-hmm.
be um I would say now, ever since that happened, I shut down a whole lot. I know it really, as far as like we talking like relationships and stuff like that, I really shut down. I really don't know how to express myself because I experienced um a real heartbreak, and nothing can really shock me anymore. I can't really expect people to feel my pain because we all different. We all handle things
Mm-hmm.
differently, but it just people made it illegal for me to miss my brother, or just made it like it's a bad thing to talk about it. It helps me a whole lot now to just talk about it because I was just very hurt because not only that he left, a lot of people left, and I was just kind of like, okay, where do I go from here? Because I
Mm-hmm.
had to step up, and now it's just I'm the last male of my family because
Yeah.
it was just like a continuation. Because 6 months after that, it was my grandmother. A year after that, it was my stepfather. A year after that, it was my grandmother, um, cousins and stuff like that. Aunt last year, so it just was like weighing on me.
Yeah. A lot was happening.
Yeah, and you still have to, you know, be everybody else um healing circle or they shoulder or their ear and
Mm-hmm.
stuff. And I just was like, damn, like, because people say that hurt people,
Yeah.
that's, but I wasn't really trying to hurt anybody. I was just waiting for someone to ask me, "Are you okay, Will? I'm here for you too, Will." And never really gotten that until I snapped one day.
That's just like when people say it's okay. You gotta check on the strong people because
Yeah.
nobody expects the strong people to need a "Hey, are you okay today?" Nobody
Hmm.
ever expects that because you never need it. But sometimes you do, even when you don't need it. Like some people wear great masks to hide their true feelings. You know what I mean? So that's just goes with always being the strong one per se.
Yeah. Yeah, because I was always smiling, and then
Mhm.
it took me 5 years to really put on a genuine smile because I was faking my smiles a lot. Because I didn't want to seem weak. I didn't want to be vulnerable. I didn't want to be a target. Because when
Mhm.
people see you that you're vulnerable, they take advantage of you,
Yeah.
and you begin to pick up habits that you never thought you would pick up. You gain weight or you lose weight. In my case, I gained weight. Um, just having the wrong people around me and stuff that that have my best interests at heart. And I just kind of I was just trying to replace him because I couldn't handle it. And just being a man, um, we just taught to just deal with our emotions head on, but that just like a whole degree, a new
Yeah.
situation. But that's why I always admire those who kept fighting after they lost their strength, because I lost my strength. I lost the will to live, but I just couldn't do it. I couldn't take myself out, if that made any sense. I was just putting myself in just in harmful situations and expecting somebody to do that for me, because
Mhm.
I couldn't do it. But now I have a whole newfound appreciation of life. I speak life into myself and I speak life into other people by
Mhm.
talking about life issues and life situations because I'm just not the type to sell people a dream because I just want people to understand that this is where I've been and this is why I do what I do because
Right.
I have helped a lot of people get over their insecurities, their pain, and whatever troubles them, and just wanted to make sure that wasn't the last chapter of my life. I didn't want it to go out like that in pain. I wanted to if when I do go out, I wanted to go out knowing that I healed a few people, that I made people happy,
Yeah.
and that I made people um, just if he could do it, then I can do it too.
Yeah. That's that's basically or one of the goals or should be like something that we live for as human beings, just being a good person. Like whether you intentionally try to have a positive impact or you intentionally try to do something, just your aura and your behavior in general should be that genuine or that good where people are influenced or affected by it positively. Mommy used to
Yeah.
always say, "Do good, good follow you. Do wrong, wrong follow you." Just you just try to do right by people, even when I be, and it'd be like the little things, like even when I be at work, like my patient irritate me or just get smart or be nasty. I just look and say, "Okay, are you done? Thank you." Because I promise you, I have this patient so irate, and I start work at 6 o'clock in the morning. So irate, and he is so sweet, such a nice guy, older, and he was just flipping, but he wasn't flipping or tripping about me. It was about another worker, but had he misunderstood the other worker's task. But okay,
Hmm.
cool. So he had his whole tantrum. He's like, if I have to wait, if I have to wait more than 5 minutes, if I have to crawl on my knees and walk to the elevator, I'm out of here. Okay, please give me 5 minutes. So, like, that probably was, that incident probably, let's say it happened like on Monday. So by 3, 4 days later, totally different guy. Even later on that shift, he was so apologetic. He even said, I had the wrong information. I'm so sorry. But he's the sweetest guy. He is so sweet. He's like 90 years old. Oh, I don't know. I just have a thing for old people. They're nice. But and he just kept on telling me how I take good care of him. Da 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 da. I can't mention your name when I get home because the missus is going to be upset. It's just so cute. And when you don't have to fight fire with fire all the time. You don't have to be nasty with someone all the time. Like sometimes people just genuinely need a smile or your calm spirit can be what cracks or bends a giant or whatever, however you may say. Like
Hmm.
that sometimes people just need just like a kind word or someone to be kind to them. Like people aren't used, everyone's not used to someone being nice to them or genuinely caring about humans. I don't have to love you or know you personally to want to be nice or to do something genuinely respectful for you. It's just the right thing to do.
Yeah, and we just think that we just be nice because we have an interior motive. I'm just a nice person, so
Yeah. Like, don't get me wrong, some people do. We have an ulterior motive, but I mean, you can see through that. You can definitely see through
oh, I
that.
know. That's why I use discernment.
Right.
You got to protect your energy because things are very rapid nowadays, and
Hmm.
people are pretending very well. So you just have to be able to decipher because the act can't last a long time.
No.
I'm learning that too. But yeah, I wanted to ask you.
Oh, jeez. What?
So what got you into modeling?
Um, I don't know what got me into modeling. My mom used to model when she was younger. Um, I think the first fashion show that I ever done, I would say the name of the store, but that's gonna date me. So I did I did a fashion show for a clothing store that we no longer have. I don't even know if the store is still even up and running. But anyways, I did the show and I'm like, oh, okay, I kind of like this. It was a janky show. It was like literally in the store and you just walked around the store. And after that, I don't know what came after that, but that was like the very first show that I did. And then I just said one day I wanted to model and I wanted to um, go way farther than what I did.
Hmm.
But I wanted to just go far. And then I had my moments. And what I can say is I wasn't consistent with it. And that's no one's fault but my own. I wasn't consistent with it. I didn't continue doing it like I should have. Even like now, like, it's something when you know something is incomplete and
Hmm.
it still lingers at you. And it's just one of those things that I know is incomplete. But it's fun. I love it. If I can do that right now, I would.
Yeah, I mean, it's never too late. Of course not. It's just I think we all get derailed a little bit, but it's just all about just continuing on what you started. Because I have my moments too when I feel like, man, I'm not getting where I need to be, or I'm not getting these enough views, or um, do people watch it and this and that. So I always have that internal battle with
Hmm.
myself because such a perfectionist. So when I go back and watch some videos and then I'll be like, oh my God, why did I say that? Or why did I cough at that moment? But then I also have to realize I'm human. So it's going to be mistakes. And even if I know it's a mistake, everybody else ain't going to know it's a mistake. So I
Right.
just, I just fight it. I just realize that I put out good material, good content, good guests, good subject matter. So I just have to keep in mind that, you know, it's gonna have its ups and its downs and its mids, but it's just all about just continuing on and
Staying consistent with it. Like that consistency is key. It's gonna pick up. And I think like podcasts are so raw and so authentic. I think it is awesome. I used to say I wanted to make a podcast.
you should.
Uh-uh.
Yeah, I feel it though. I feel it. It's not for everybody because I just be watching some of these podcasts. I be like, man, why they have a podcast? Because I think,
When I tell you, like, it is some crazy podcasts out here. I'm
hmm
like, dang, really? If you can make a podcast, like, you finna talk about this? Yeah, like, this world is so totally different that we living in right now.
oh yeah, because I feel like this. I feel like if you have a huge platform, I think you should promote change. You should promote um, integrity, financial freedom, just everything that could help. Because
Mhm.
it just once you have like more than 1,000 listeners, then you are held accountable of your particular product. And that's why I don't have any messiness on my platform. We
Mhm.
talk about positivity, we talk about bettering each other, and we also talk about, our experiences.
Yeah.
And I just feel like we have enough filth in society that I don't want to be a contributor to it. I want to be able to, show us in a different light because not all of us walking without a brain, and I like to showcase my brilliance and my intelligence. So, and just doing the history segments, a lot of people said they learned a lot from me and stuff. And I don't call myself like a historian and stuff like that because people say, "Oh, where your degree at? You're not qualified to talk." Man, fuck that. I'm gonna do what the fuck I want to do. But I just think that it just comes with a huge responsibility that
Mhm.
everyone isn't equipped with. So,
Yeah. If you can get on YouTube and learn how to deliver a baby, you can talk about history. Don't let nobody don't let nobody tell you you can't talk about history. Nah, I mean everybody have, like you said, you have those who follow you, you know. You don't have to agree with me or, disagree with me. You don't have to be negative about it. That's the thing. We have so much negativity in this world. People can be so evil. That shit is just like, that stuff is so crazy. You be like, dang, like people are really that evil out here. You want to be that spiteful? Mm,
yeah,
I don't know.
that's their business, not my business. So,
Man, right.
but I just really want to give back to the community. I'm working on something independently with someone else, and we're gonna try to at least start like a program that we can cease the violence that's going on, and try to get kids to have particular programs like they used to. Because I just feel like since we're the 30s and 40s people now, we have
Oh
to.
gosh.
Hey, I love it. I love it though. I never thought I would reach this pinnacle. So I love it.
No?
I didn't think so. It was a point in time I didn't think so. But now that I'm older, I want to, give back.
Yeah.
I really want a kid or kids to understand that, you don't have to be out here in these streets. You don't have to. It's cool to be smart. It's cool to be a nerd. It's cool to be a lame.
Hmm.
And I just think that people have identity crisis. So it just be a whole lot of peer pressure, a lot of
Yeah.
bad influences. So I'm trying to be a good influence. I ain't trying to be a perfect person because there's no such thing as a perfect person.
Mhm.
But it's just we have to make a attempt. We have to try.
Yeah. Yeah, I definitely think that this generation needs some better resources than what they have. I'm raising two girls in this world, and
Hmm
it's like really nothing. Like they have, I want to say, a quarter of what we had growing up, and we have a lot.
No, no.
But I don't know. It's like you said, like you and your partner or whomever, like it's gonna take people like that to going to or willing to start these organizations, start these groups or businesses or whatever it is to get back to the youth to get their attention because right now, don't nothing got their attention but TikTok,
Hmm.
Snapchat, and streets.
Hmm.
So, and they need some. It the world in general needs some positivity.
Yeah, and that's all I'm about. Even when I'm making people laugh or just making people think, it's all positive. And
Yeah.
and I feel like I was chosen for this responsibility. Me and others who share the same interests.
Hmm.
We can all think differently, but we all got to come to a common ground. And I just think that just us being who we are as black folks and this and that, we are the most richest because we spend the most money on everything. But I just feel like, as far as our thinking, as far as our strategies, that we unorganized. So once we get organized, and once we begin to put our monies back into our communities, and I sat back and thought about, so how did the hood become the hood in the first place? And why nobody buying back the block, but they tearing down the block, assassinating the civilians on the block. So we just have to, you know, make sure that we get our priorities straight, and
Yeah.
we doing that. So it's two of us, but I believe that it's going to be more along the way. But it's okay to start with two. The Black Panthers, they started with two, and then it became thousands. So I just so
Yeah.
I know it can happen. You know,
Yeah.
it's a team effort.
It's definitely a team effort. I think like the black culture itself or the race, not even the culture, the black race. We're
Hmm.
so divided, but we've been planted and it's been planted and we've been taught to be divided as one race. And it just trickle down. Even like when it comes to Saginaw, like people always say, "Oh, we can't do nothing in Saginaw." Everybody always against everybody, or everybody's in competition with everybody. Da 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 da. And you just kind of sit back and look back at it. I don't know if it's because it's the small town, or do people just really think, or if people are really just that vindictive or selfish, like, oh, I don't want such and such to get more than me or surpass me in this, so I'm gonna withhold this information or I'm gonna do it first. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know. It's just weird to me sometimes when you see people like literally hold back information that can help somebody or lying about it. I just that's it's just mind
Goofy.
boggling to me. Like, who raised you? I don't know. It's just weird. But if the city can come together, it can be a very powerful city. It's a lot of money here. People just don't know. People just don't know where the resources are. And then when someone else, like I said again, when someone else do know about it, people want to be hush hush. Like, the money is gonna run out eventually. You can't get it all. You might as well share with somebody.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
mm,
And the craziest thing that I revealed was, um because, like, with my show and stuff like that, not only I talk about racism and justice and everything, but I hold ourselves accountable too.
hmm
And a lot of us hate accountability. A lot of us hate to be chastised about the stuff that we do.
hmm
And to be honest with you, I'm surprised I never received any hate towards our counterparts, but our own people. I have received death threats. I received character assassinations,
Yeah.
slander, and just people preying on my downfall. And I'm just, I'm just like, I'm really the one that's bringing us into the forefront and stuff. Because people who small minded, they only look at it like, oh, you just doing a show off life and this and that. This is seen all across the country. I made it to every part of the country and out of the country. So I'm really doing us a good service
Yeah.
because people don't understand. It's like, when you be dysfunctional on the internet and stuff like that, and then you have like friends who are every race in the spectrum, they pay attention to that. They read those statuses as well. We read those statuses, and they like,
Yeah.
oh my God, they can't even coexist amongst each other. I'm glad I'm
Mm-mm.
over here. I'm glad I'm in the country, or I'm glad I'm in this gated community, you know? So, what's it's going to happen like in the next 10 years? And it's just people leave here and don't do anything about it. So, I'm going to at least make an attempt to do something about it. Because I just saw how they did my cousin Chuck, man. Like, he was loved and worshipped when he was dead, but when he was alive, he was a target. He was considered a bust, and he was considered a, a all this other stuff, and
You
that hurt
talking
me.
about the football player?
Hmm.
Oh, mm-hmm.
And I had to watch that. I had to
Yeah.
watch all these news outlets who are supposed to be putting out responsible content. All they was worrying about was his flaws and his previous arrests and stuff.
Yeah.
They don't even sit back and think about the family that's still here that's trying to process it. It wasn't even 24 hours.
Mm-mm.
And just with this takeoff thing, like, is how people, talking about all over the dice game and this and that. I'm like, so what? He gone. That's another life lost over nonsense. Like,
Right. They were like making jokes about his name on, I'm not laughing. They were making jokes
mm-hmm,
about his name on social media. Like, what's takeoff? I don't know. They was like he should have took off. It was just like it was joking. It was a joke. Like, and somebody then lost their son, uncle. You know that. I'm telling you, these people can be so cruel, and that's what I was about to say to you. Like being on this in this platform or having this platform, you yourself have to have some tough skin because the little threats and the little comments that you get out is only going to get worse when you become bigger. So you yourself have to be able to withhold that because, like, of course, you're going to ignore the majority, but you're going to still see some. You know what I'm saying? So you have to strengthen yourself and be able to take the bullet when it comes. So this is not for the weak at heart.
no, no, because I feel like this. I feel like if you try to come at me, especially about like my past or the things I've done in my private
Mhm.
life and what I've done in the comfort of my own home,
Mhm.
come get me
Yeah.
because I'm not no quitter. I'm not no coward, and there's a lot of cowards here, and people fold, people bend, people conform, but I'm not conforming, especially for what I believe in. And we have to have more people who's willing to just, even if they have to die, because we had a lot of people that had to lose their lives in order for us to have these particular opportunities that we have today.
Mhm.
So if I have to
Mhm.
be a sacrifice, then so be it.
Mhm.
Mm. But yeah, I
I
don't
don't
want to
want to
keep you.
die.
Nah, no, I mean I don't. Who does? But I'm just saying, like, I'm just at this point. I'm just at this point in my life where um I'd rather die on my feet than on my knees. type thing.
Oh well, yeah, of course. You gotta
But
stand for something. I get
yeah, and
it.
but I would have a legacy. I know a whole lot of people gonna remember me, and then people who didn't know me gonna discover me. It's like, man, who was this guy? You know. And I just want my nieces and my nephew to know that their uncle wasn't a punk. I just want my godson to know that his godfather wasn't no punk. That he came from a strong bloodline and stuff like
Yeah.
that. And just for my future kids, when I do decide to have them,
Oh
you know, just
gosh.
just to know that, just let them know that their father was a punk because I didn't have any examples like that growing up. So I have to make myself. And that's the thing that people don't understand. Like a lot of females nowadays, they don't understand what it's like. Because I think that once you have a mother, auntie, grandmother, and stuff like that, you're set, you're cool. But when you're a guy, you have nothing but women around you your entire life. It's like, okay, who do I follow? You know, who do I allow to lead me
Hmm.
into the promised land? So at the end of the day, it's just all about um, just figuring out who you are and knowing what you want to do. And I already just made my plan. I have a 5 year plan, and it's probably gonna take like a shorter amount, but I just gotta stay on the right track. You know, keep my eyes on the prize, and that's just for everybody.
Yeah. That's all you
Yeah.
gotta do. Stay consistent with it and work at it. You got it. Easier said than done, but
Oh yeah,
it, it
hope
can
is easy.
definitely it can definitely be done.
Yeah, no
Yeah.
doubt. I don't want to keep you past your bedtime.
Thank
I
you
know you
so much.
probably
I appreciate it.
yeah,
Because
I
I
saw
do
a
gotta
little.
go to work in the morning.
Yeah, I saw a little yawning, but you
I
know,
was trying to hold
but
it.
yeah, thank you for coming. I had
You're
such a wonderful
welcome.
time. If you want
Yeah.
to come back and do like a follow up, just let me know.
All right. Thank you. Much success. All
Likewise. Have a good
right.
night.
Thanks. You too.